Good morning. So, I'm going to talk about a very boring topic, probably drive you to sleep, and at the end, also make you sleepless overnight. So, are you interested to get into that phase? Great. So, the boring topic I'm going to talk about starts with finance, blends with engineering, and then will make you question about the next 20 years of your life, on how the social construct of money is evolving. So, a topic which probably in universities or in schooling that is very less talked to us about is finance. Why? Because there is a very primitive understanding even from our parents or from our teachers or from a few leaders or mentors that you see around the space. Their standard construct is that, well, do good studies, go take up a job, or start a small shop, make some money, save it, buy a house, invest it into a retirement fund, and then get married, be happy, retire, move on, pass it down to your kids. This has been working great for the past 30 years, I would say. And then came technology. So back in the days, we used to do checkbooks. Now it's Google Pay. So the biggest innovation in the entire world that has happened in the past 10 years is UPI. And that did not originate from a finance guy. It originated from a technology guy. A computer science engineer based out of Delhi came up with the idea to build UPI for the entire country. And it is right now the example for financial innovation. Now, UPI did not just bring in technology into finance, but it has basically changed the entire economy of the country. You don't carry around 10,000 rupees in your pocket anymore, but you carry on your phone using which you can make the payment of 10,000 rupees or even up to 1 lakh in a day. You don't think about whether you have enough cash at hand. You don't think about whether I have change for my rickshaw. It's all covered, right? The second biggest innovation that happened was the Paytm box. So probably a few of you are aware, probably not aware. The fact that the box came in and could announce transactions happen was phenomenal, and it brought in a lot of small vendors who were in the unregulated space when it came to the finance industry, and now they're in the regulated space. Now they can get loans, they can get micro loans, and this is making their lives better. This was also thought of by a technology guy, not someone with an MBA in finance. Now, what is going on next under the carpet that we have not heard of, not thought of? Probably some of you who have gone through Google and past 2 years of financial economics, what's happening? What if your money can expire? What if it can expire? So you got your salary today, you're in Google or you're in Amazon, probably you're making, like I heard, the highest salary in VVIT in last year was 45 lakhs from Amazon. Now, what if Amazon comes and tells you that I'm paying you 45 lakh salary, but it has a 1-year expiry? Strange, right? But this is not something utopian and it will happen in the next 20 years. It's happening right now. It's happening right now in China, where programmable money has been piloted. So you'll be given a hefty amount of money for your work, but you have a time slot on how fast you have to spend, where you have to invest, how you have to invest. All that construct is being brought in, not by someone else from finance, not from the government, but from a technology guy. Why does all this matter? Now, the past 30 years, whatever you learned from your parents, what you would have seen from your seniors or from top leaders, whatever they thought is evolving and it's changing. So how are you going to adapt to the next 20 years or probably the next 40 years of your life? What if there are no pension funds? What if you can't actually retire? You have to keep working all along. So these are scary thoughts, but this is doable. And it is something that you have to start thinking from today onwards. And this is where ethics and responsibility as engineers of ourselves comes into question. How are you going to make sure that these type of technological innovations have maximum positive benefits to the society rather than having negative benefits? So ethics is common across the world. Legal will always keep changing. What is legal in India might be illegal in China. You have a freedom of speech in India. It basically does not exist in China. It's superficial over there. So the legality of concepts will keep changing. Ethics and social responsibility, that stays along forever. So whenever you are thinking about a new idea, a new innovation, you have to always see how it is going to impact the next generation. Is it something that you'd like to be built and alive for the next 10, 20 years? Because forget about thinking on having next 100-year companies. It's not going to happen. It's gone with Tatas and Birlas. That era is over. Now it is about being able to survive for next 10, 20 years. Humans are already becoming multi-planetary beings. So there's a lot of changes that's happening on that front as well. So the land that you own, is it going to be of the same value if we become multi-planetary? Would you want to go and live in Mars? Or would you still want to live in Vijayawada? So these are thought-provoking questions. And it once again keeps on boils down to the ethics and responsibility that your parents teach you, your teachers, what they've taught you. That is basically what you learn, whether it is in your engineering college and tomorrow if you go to US or to an MBA institution, the values, because that will keep carrying over for hundreds of years. Technology will evolve. Technology will keep changing. The concept of money will keep changing. The next generation probably doesn't even know how a rupee note look like. We have nearly only 8% of the entire nation supply in cash. It's all digital now, right? So every single project, every single work that you do, whether you are in a digital image processing lab or a DSP lab, or if you're in a C++ lab, we have to think about if this will be useful for the society for the next 10, 20 years. That is going to define who you become. Do not be complacent in your thoughts. Be ambitious. Imagine 20 years down the lane, if your technology should survive, what would be the steps you will have to take today? What should you learn? What should you also unlearn that is basically a baggage for you right now? So these are some thought-provoking questions once again. So who could guide you? Do not always look up to your seniors, but rather look up to your peers. Almost all biggest financial innovations, not just in the country, but also in the US if you look at it, it's all come from peers. It all starts up in a restaurant or in a chai shop. And then it starts gaining momentum and becomes mainstream. So never feel shy about ideas that you think of, because every idea is valuable. Just make sure it's ethical and socially responsible. So the expiring money, right? It's an interesting concept. And even our firm is working with Abu Dhabi government on a pilot project. So if your money is going to expire, what would you do? If you have only 3 months to spend your money or save it, is your salary worth it? Is working for it worth it? So how is a society going to adapt to this? Well, this is still a few years down the lane, but this is something you have to think about and talk about in your dinner meetings with your friends. Think it over. It is scary, but the entire world in the past 150 years, all our growth has always come from a scary standpoint, right from Industry Revolution 1.0 to the new Industry Revolution that we had in the past 15 years to the technological revolution that we are going through right now, and the next interplanetary revolution that we will go through once Elon Musk or even ISRO succeed in going to Mars. It's all going to be scary, but this is where the young generation, the new Gen Z, is confident enough to steer us towards the next complete change in visualization of how we would live our life. So be excited, be inquisitive, question everything, whoever tells you about it, and come up with projects, come up with ideas that is also socially and economically responsible, that helps others around you and gets people out of poverty. That's the way to grow, and that's the way to make your time in the planet, your life in this world valuable. Thank you.